Hey, this is John from Worshipper. My first concert of ever was Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Stray Cats. My dad brought me, and it was in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, at a baseball stadium. And I was like, nobody cared about the Stray Cats because it was sort of a lull in their career. But we were like in the front row, just standing at the barricade, and Brian Setzer blew my mind on guitar. It was crazy because I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't think I was a rockabilly fan. I didn't know anything at the time. I was a young guitar player. I think I was in eighth or ninth grade. And that was amazing. And then Stevie Ray Vaughan, it was great to be able to see him. I feel lucky to have seen him because like a year after I saw him, he died. But I mean, it was one of the loudest concerts I've ever been to. The wall of amps was like, you know, from here to there, behind plexiglass, just every amp, like Marshalls, Fenders, Dumbles, just like stacked this high, and it was crazy. I do remember my dad getting mad when he played Little Wing because he went on about a 10-minute speech about finding Jesus and his sobriety and stuff. So that, which is fine, which is great, but it was sort of like, you know, a little bit of a downer in the show, but you know, he lived hard, and it was great that he was able to make it through the other side, but unfortunately it didn't last much longer. So. But that I'm lucky to have seen it.
Hey, what's up? This is Jarvis from Worshipper, and the first concert I ever went to was The Cult and Lenny Kravitz at the Orpheum Theater in downtown Boston. My brother, who's 4 years older than me, took me along with his best friend, and they got loaded the whole time, and I couldn't get loaded because I was too young. But the show was amazing. Lenny Kravitz's first record, and his band was phenomenal, and you could like smell them from the floor. They were dirty, and they were amazing. The Cult was the Cult. I mean, it was the electric tour. They had fans. Their bass player did a 10-minute bass solo with his hair blowing with a fan. It was like, I'd never seen anything like it. I'll never forget it. It was one of the main reasons I'm standing here now telling you about it.
Bob from Worshipper. First concert ever, and was life-altering, I would say, was Twisted Sister, YNT, and Dokken at the Orpheum Theater. Nice. We took the bus in from Saugus, where I lived, and can I say this? We were... my friends and I were tripping our balls off during Twisted Sister, and I just remember my mind being blown because like Dee Snider with the makeup and his hair was just going crazy. I was just like mesmerized. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And then one of the things I very distinctly remember from that show was, you know, you see a stadium show or theater show, and you're standing on the seats so you can see the stage a little bit better. Then the people in front of us were standing on the backs of their chairs, so we couldn't see. So everybody was standing on the backs of the chairs, and just everybody. I just remember doing this, and just caving, and it was like dominoes. People were just going down. It was amazing.
This is Alex from Worshipper. My first like real big concert, I think it must have been in 1990. It was Queensryche with the Suicidal Tendencies opening up at the Binghamton Arena in Binghamton, New York. And we had to get there. We were driven there by our parents, me and the guitar player who played in the band that I played with at the time. This must have been in the 8th grade. So I grew up in central Pennsylvania, and we grew up watching MTV. And so the closest, like Binghamton was like still like a 4-hour drive to go see a real concert. So up until that point, you know, MTV was just, you know, heavy metal was just something you just saw on TV. So we go to the arena, and you know, we do the whole trip where we get there early, we wait there at the door, and they open it up, and it's just like one of those old like MTV like tour videos where you see all the fans just like running into the arena in slow motion. That was us. I remember getting to the front of the barricade, and like I was like front and center, and I was a really small scrawny kid, and I didn't realize that moshing was a thing. So during the Suicidal Tendencies, I ended up just like kind of getting pushed up against the grate. And then Mike Muir, just like I remember he gave us this huge long speech about how he doesn't like people fucking with him. but he had this like cup of water to like make his point, this analogy, and at the end of it, he just kind of smacked the water off the stage. And let's see, then the other thing is Queensryche came on. They did the entire Operation Mindcrime record, which is pretty badass. Jeff Tate threw water in my face. At that point, that was a mind-blowing experience. Huh? I hope it was water. It could have been like, well, turns out I was tripping my balls off. No, I'm just kidding. No, and then, after that, I just had, just a firm taste for arena rock, and I knew that that was probably what I wanted to do for the rest of my days. So now I hang out with these guys.